Hello, this is Brother Andrew. I'd like to show you how to get started with our HTML5 games. Okay, when you buy an HTML5 game, you'll get two main folders. You get a folder called Core, and then you have another folder that's named whatever game you purchase. So in this case, you purchase the game show. Now if you buy other games, you can just grab that game folder and put them into the same directory here. You do not need to have separate core folders for all the games. So you can put all the game folders just in here and have one core folder. Now you may make separate copies of all these, so you may want to have, one folder that contains just these two, and then maybe another folder that contains these, and things like that. All right, so let's go into the game show folder. In here, you'll see a whole bunch of different folders and files. We give you all of the source code to this, so the CSS and the JavaScript and things like that. You get all of those files. You don't need to know that programming language, however, to use these games. The best way to edit these games is to take these two folders and upload them to a server, and then to go into your game folder and point to the config HTML file. You can see that's what I've done right here. I put my games, or put my files into a games folder. I'm using the world race instead of the game show, and then I have config HTML, and I'm pointing to that, and it brings up this editor that you can see right there. Now, you don't have to use that editor. You could also come into here and go into your config file and then edit your design, your questions, and your sounds INI files. So basically in the editor, there's those three tabs right here: questions, design, and sounds, and all those are really doing is grabbing those INI files and editing those. If you want to, you could open up, design and questions and sounds INI in some type of a, Dreamweaver or text editor and make changes there. However, in order to see edits that you've done to the game, you must have these files up on a server and be viewing it through a browser or through your iPad. That's the only way you can see actual updates. So the best thing to do, again, is to take the core and then your game folder or folders, upload those to a server, and point to that config HTML file. All right, so let's go ahead and look at that editor. So when you pull up the editor, again, there's three tabs. The questions tab is where you do all the text and the questions and answers for your game. So when you're looking in here, anything that's in green, that's the text for your game. So if I click continue here, you can see challenge, setup, and instructions. That text is getting pulled from right there. You can go ahead and just type anything that you want to in there. Make sure you read the comments here. And then also at the bottom of the editor here, you can see that there's a spot that talks about the different instructions. I actually link you off to the tutorials that we have for this particular game. All right, now in the design folder, you can see that this controls all of the colors and the visual elements of the game. So if you want to do things with the these images in the background, the colors, put in your own logo and things like that, you can do that there. If you want to change different things around the question buttons, like change the colors of those, you can do it all from the design tab. And then the sounds tab, this controls all of the sounds that are in your game. So any of the sounds that happen in the beginning of the game, the click sounds and things like that, those are all controlled here, and they're pulling files from the game folders that you purchased. All right, so basically, again, this is the best way to edit your game. Point to that config HTML folder. Now, you'll notice if I go like this, I change this to say game. Here we go. That pulls up your game. So you can see if you just by simply changing this to game or to config, you can go back and forth between the editor and your game. Now when you're ready to launch your game, so you're all done designing this, and let me go back here, you've done some changes here. You come down here, you've saved all your changes, things like that. Basically you can just leave all your files and folders on the server, and then just take that URL, just change that to be game, and you can take that URL and have users go directly to there to do your completed game, and that's how they would complete that game. You can also, when you're done, take all of your files, and you can take these folders and you can copy those to any different server that you want to. So you could zip it and put it up in your LMS, or just put it on an intranet or anything like that. And again, all you need to do is point to that game HTML, and that will launch your game. If you want to, at the end, make it so people can't change that file, just delete the config HTML. All right, so take a look at the other parts of the tutorial here on this page.